A new analysis of India's higher education landscape reveals a dramatic shift in caste-wise enrollment patterns over the past decade, with scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes now forming an overwhelming majority of students across the country's universities and colleges. The findings, based on 13 years of All India Survey of Higher Education data, challenged widely circulated claims about upper caste dominance in the sector. According to the study conducted by the Center for Development, Policy and Management at IIM Udaipur, researchers and in fact have analyzed census-level reports from 2010 to 11 to 2022-2023, covering 60,380 institutions and 43.8 million students. The research team, Professor Venkatramanan Krishnamurthy, Thayagarajan Jayaraman and Professor Deena Banerjee, described the data set as one of the most comprehensive examinations of caste representation in Indian higher education to date. Let's go through the report. And of course, like I was telling you earlier, this report has been put out by the Indian Institute of Management in Udaipur. But let's quickly give you the summary of what this report is essentially telling us. The Department of Higher Education under the Ministry of Education, Government of India, has been conducting a comprehensive and exhaustive study of the higher education scenario in India since 2010-11, and the report of the study is published under the title All India Survey on Higher Education. Basically the main source of the comprehensive statistics of the higher education scenario in the country. It focuses and as far as the 2022-2023, the AISHE covered 60,380 higher education institutions and a student population of 4.38 crores. It is a comprehensive data source on the status of the higher education in India, allowing reliable time series analysis of enrollment trends across the social group, institutions, programs, courses and states. Over the past 13 years, the AISHE data reveals significant shifts in the social composition of higher education enrollment in the country. These shifts are notable because they carry implications for understanding patterns of social mobility. And here comes the data that has been put forth. Between 2010 to 11 and 2023, the enrollment of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes, particularly the OBCs, have expanded sharply. The combined share of SC, ST, OBCs in overall higher education enrollment has increased from 43.1% in 2010-11 to 60,000 60.8% in 2022-2023, indicating a distinct transition in the social composition of students in India's higher education. In absolute terms, the enrollment numbers of SC, ST, OBC students exceeded those in the general category by more than 95 lakhs in 2022-23, indicating a 55% higher enrollment in SC, ST, OBC students as compared to the general category. Between 2010 to 11 and 2022 to 2023, SC, ST, OBC enrollments increased by 1.48 crores or 125%, whereas the general category grew by 15 lakhs or around 9.5%. The sharp contrast underscores the extent of upward education mobility among the historically marginalized social groups. Some more data has been put out. The enrollment growth of SC, ST, OBCs is not limited to government institutions. Data shows that SC, ST, OBC representation has increased considerably in private institutions as well, while their share is in the total enrollment is 62.2% in government institutions. It is 60% in private institutions as well. So, both looking at government as well as private institutions, the number has been in the 60% category, a little more by 2% in government institutions. The growth trend in the SC and ST as well as OBC is broad-based and extends to professional and technical courses, and this is extremely important to note. It includes BTech, BEM, Tech MBA, MBBS and MD programs, reflecting their overall growth trend. Moreover, this increase in SC/ST OBC enrollment has occurred without any change in the total statutory reservation percentage for SC/ST and OBCs, which has remained 50% since 2010-11 for central government and most state government higher education institutions. Very important to put out those points over there. Some more, in fact, projections that they've put out where they're saying that projections suggest that at current rates of growth, SC/ST OBC students will comprise more than 2/3 of India's total enrollment in higher education by 2027-2028. So we're of course based on this report taking a look at a 2/3 fold of India's total enrollment in higher education by 2027-28, and this could perhaps also exceed the 3/4 of total enrollment by 2035-36. So that's of course the data that they've put out. Furthermore, they also said that in several states this threshold has already been crossed, as SC/ST OBC outnumber the general category students by a ratio of more than 2:1 in 16 states and union territories, and by more than 3:1 in 8 states and union territories as well. Between 2010 and 11 as well as 2021-22, among the institutions covered, the enrollment of Muslims increased by 203% from 6.97 lakhs to 21.1 lakhs. That the other minorities increased by 166% from 3.4 lakhs to 9.1 lakhs. The total minority enrollment has increased by 191% from 10.4 lakhs to 30.1 lakhs. That's of course the data that has been put out in this report.